Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to LBL Round 7. We're here at Baku in Azerbaijan. Time for probably what's going to be the second most biblical race of the season. Castle section alone is going to be taking many lives, I am certain. As always, we just got the quali done. If you do want to come see the quali live, twitch.tv/LawtonLad. We'll be able to see it live. I talk through it. You know, we jam out, we listen to music and all that good stuff. But quite commonly, Danny was on pole, just pipped Grimes for 7 thousandths as we get underway here in the Baku City track. It is lights out and away we go. Danny and Grimes maintaining a relatively same start, although Danny managing to pull out in first into turn one there. Everybody's still bunched up. It looks like a clean turn one by the looks of things. I would be amazed if it ends this way, although I think there's a little bit of argy-bargy going back now. Danny's still in front. Grimes maybe trying to get in the slipstream of him with Nico and Scott. Drake's following all closely as it looks like there's going to be 4 abreast coming down into turn 3. They're not quite. I think a couple of people backed out indeed. Relatively tame start, few position changes. We've got a few new reserves in today. We've got there's a yellow flag in sector 1. Hopefully nothing crazy. Alfie, our darling, our sweetheart, down in last. That is not what he wants. Such a strong points finisher. He wants to be up in them points yet again. As always, here it is. The dreaded castle section. Can people survive it? Ooh, very narrowly there. It's one of those corners where you have to take it as fast as possible because you can make so much time just by not being nervous. Yeah, okay, so off the start we have a yellow flag, sector 2. Off the start we have Grimes staying relatively close to Danny, coming up towards the end of lap 1. Nico just behind the pair of them as we already have a retirement in Bames. Already a retirement. What a shame. We didn't make it to the end of lap 1 before we had a retirement. What a shock. Who cares anyway? Dead action, dead drivers. Here we are, predicted pit stop strategy. No one cares about that because it never happens. Still got Danny in first. Yellow flag, sector 3. Ghost dropping down. Why? I'm not quite sure. Let's get on board with him. Going a little bit slow. Does he have a front wing? He does. Not quite sure what happened there. Might have been a bit of a spinala. Our friend Eldog 2 Trappy in 13th. Made up 5 positions from the start. That's great from him. Alfie up into 15th from last. Doing amazing. Ghost in the pits there. Must have been a bit of collision contact we did not see. Already going on to the hards. I see maybe. I doubt you can stretch these to the end. If you do, fair play. But yeah, no. Still got Danny in first. Grimes close behind with Nico third. Danny's teammate Scott in fourth with Grimes' teammate Drake's in fifth. This is quite a close bunch. I think they're going to be very close to one another during the entirety of this race. The 2 Ferraris, the prancing horses, really close, 6th and 7th, Delirious and JD respectively. Some good ground they've made there from the start. Delirious jumping up 3. Cam up into 8th, gained 4 positions. Bedoof up into 10th from starting 17th. Great start from him. Jack into 9th. He came in last week. I think he finished 5th. Actually had a very good race. Oh my goodness, as I have no clue what is going on. Jason thinks he can manipulate the track interpretations and use the wall a bit there. Not quite sure what happened there. His internet might be on the ropes. Not sure. I might have connected to that McDonald's Wi-Fi earlier on today. His teammate Eldog just behind him in 13th. Noel King 14th. Had a poor qualifying from him. I think he finished 19th with a 5-place grid penalty anyway. Come on, Alfie, let's get up there. Let's get up some positions. Oh, we have Scott and Nico getting into it now. Into turn 1 we go. As Danny sets a fastest lap of 1:41.911. Oh no! Nico's just lost it on the exit of turn 1. Now he's got to go an entire lap without a front wing. An entire lap without a front wing. What a shame there from Nico. It goes from bad to worse for this man. He just can't catch a break. He never gets any luck around these races. Any round he's in, he finds some form of bad luck. You know, from qualifying on pole in Bahrain to not even finishing on the podium to, you know, crushing out galore. This man is really going to be frustrated with himself even more as he's going to have to limp the car back into the pits now towards the end of this lap. Hopefully it is damage limitation for him. going to try and keep people behind him, but I'm not so sure he's going to be able to. Obviously, you know, when you don't have that front wing, it is crazy. The difference you have, you know, it really is. Look at everybody catching him up. People who are 5, 6, 7 seconds behind at the start of the lap, you know, they're right on his tail now. This is such a shame for Nico. You're going to be bunching up people behind him, that's for sure. I mean, look at this. There's already 4 people right next to one another. As Nico's just going to get overtaken by all 3 of them. I think he's just going to get out of the way. It's easier if he does it that way. Very unfortunate from Nico there. Meanwhile, we still have Grimes and Danny. No difference between the pair of them. Grimes going to have DRS now. I think this is what we're going to see. It's going to be a pattern of going back and forth. Here we go. The attack from Grimes now goes in front of Danny with ease. Danny going to slot behind him. Use the DRS as much as possible. Use the slipstream as much as possible. I do apologise. As Scott's now up into 3rd as well, courtesy of a Nico spin. It's been a very poor start for the McLaren boys. Both out of the points, 1 DNF already. We've got Danny now with the DRS looking to come back. Now Nico, 5-second penalty speeding in the pit lane. It really is going from bad to worse. There's a little bit of a slide there from Grimes. You just kind of think now, what are they going to do? They're just going to settle down, race amongst each other. But you know what they've got to think is, if they're slowing each other down all the time, it's going to allow the people behind to catch up. You know, with Scott and Drake's, I'm more than happy to get involved with this. I'm sure there is also the constructors. You know, Mercedes are kind of running away with it. I think they've got about a 50-point gap. So Scott's definitely going to want to be pushing towards Danny and Grimes to, you know, get even more points for Alpine. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. We've got Jason and Jack getting into it like no tomorrow up in front. Oh, this is not going to end well. As Jack has to use the escape road there. Very unfortunate from him, which now promotes, you know, 3 people in front of him. Just missed his braking zone, unfortunately, there. Bidoof in 8th, kind of minding his own, you know, doing his own thing. You know, kind of 1.5 behind him is Jason, and then 3.3 up the road is Cam. Cam trying to get on the back end of both of these Ferraris. So Ferraris consistently seem to be best of the rest. You know, if other people aren't screwing themselves over, they genuinely are. You know, they're very consistent. You know, the two Ferrari boys here, they like to battle amongst each other. I think they've both had a podium apiece. JD finishing 3rd in was it Australia? I think, I'm not too sure. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Danny back up into 1st. Grimes behind him. Like I said, it's just going to be a DRS race. That's all it's going to be. One of them has to break a 2nd. Both on the same strategy by the looks of things. You know, Scott's actually starting to fall back a little bit from the 2 front runners there, with Drake's in his own world as well. I wonder what's going to happen in terms of team orders at Ferrari. Are they going to say maintain position, or they say go on, have some fun? Who's got the faster pace? Who's going to be able to potentially even make a charge for those front 4 runners there? Because, you know, if anything, if let's say, for example, JD is the faster driver, it's just a detriment. Delirious is just being a detriment to him right now, as he's not going to be able to get out of the way whatsoever. And it's just going to halt his progression further up the grid, as there's already a 6.6 gap to Drake's anyway. Cam right behind JD now. He was a little bit further behind, but I think thanks to DRS it's allowed him to get a bit closer to the action. We got Jason all over the shop. Excuse me. Jason all over the shop now as Nolking up 9 positions from the start. Great race from him there. Eldag, who came in as a reserve for us, up into 11th. Decent racing from him. Alfie, the darling, the sweetheart, in 12th, trying to make a bit of an audacious move there around the outside. I personally, you know, I'd just do the safe thing, wait till I've got the DRS, then get going. We've got Drake's and Grimes. Grimes gone into the pits early, I'm not quite sure why. Oh, he must have picked up some damage. Oh, that's going to be very frustrating for him there. He's gone back on the softs yet again. Delirious also came in as well. Is he coming in for his scheduled pit stop? Yes, I believe he is. He's now on the mediums. Yeah, a little bit confusing there for Grimes. He's come back out on the softs again, so he's going to have to pit once more. Whereas all these other boys, you know, Danny's now got free right of passage. You know, he has no traffic in front or behind him. He is clear. I think it's just going to be the one stop for Danny now. You know, whereas Grimes is going to have to do a two stop. There's no two ways he's not doing a two stopper here. There has been some early pit stops. There's been some damage. Unfortunately, we only have the one retirement at the moment, which is Bames. You know, Nico can't catch a break with having a teammate who can actually finish on. Well, finish with all four wheels still attached, essentially. So currently the order on the end of lap 6 is Danny, Drakes, JD, Cam Dog in 4th. Lovely start from him. Bidu, Scott. He's dropped a few positions. I think he pitted. King, Jason, Grimes having to pit and change his wing. Eldog, Obolf, King Joel, Delirious, Ghost, Nico. Nico's going to be very frustrated with himself there. Down 12 positions. Seiji, Jack, Andy Gatehouse, and then Ben P 1928 closes round the grid there. Sometimes you just don't know really who to stick on with, because there's 20 drivers. Well, at the moment there's 19. But you just don't know who to watch. You miss out on so much action. You see all these DNFs. Look at that. And then, like I said, just for example, like that, Andy Gatehouse, unfortunately DNFing there. What got him? Where was it that got him? We're going to stay on board with Ben because he'll be able to see where Andy was. It might be that left-hander, the creeping left-hander that always catches up to you all the time, every time. I hate it so much with a passion, and I think it's just going to be just in front here, maybe. Or that might have been behind me there. Didn't quite see. Yeah, it's unfortunate now. Second DNF of the race. Very unfortunate there for Andy. Consistently gets in the top 10, he picks a couple of points up here and there, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to do that today. Danny still in first, 8 seconds the gap. Cam in third. Look at this, there's 8 seconds between Danny and Drakes, and then 8 seconds between Drakes and Cam, with Scott right behind Cam, looking to probably finish the race on that stint of tyres. I think the compound is going to be the medium, the one that everybody ends on. Well, it depends on whether early pit stops. Like for example, I think Nico and Grimes will need to pit again. Grimes on the softs, so he will be pitting once more. I'm certain of it, as Danny now comes into the pits for his pit stop scheduled. Coming in this early, well, I wouldn't say this early, I think that's quite scheduled. He's now got 18 laps to take these mediums to the end. I think you're able to do it, as Grimes setting the fastest lap of the race. Danny now comes out in front of Grimes, also out of DRS detection. He has a free pit stop on Grimes. That is crazy. So Grimes is going to have to work his magic. Whether Danny comes in or not is up to him. Whether the rest of the boys come in or not is up to them. Cam now in second, obviously without a pit stop, but still. Drake's up in first. Cam being behind him, he's going to maybe hope that Cam holds up all these faster drivers. Look at him, it's a train of Scott, Danny and Grimes. The longer that Cam holds these guys up, better for Drakes. Look at them, all three there. As you can see, Grimes just coming around in the background. These boys having to go slower. To no fault of Cam's own, he's just racing as fast as he possibly can. But these boys are eager to get past him, I'm sure. I'm certain of it. The gap currently 7.1 between Drakes and Cam. I think with DRS though, there's going to be a couple of overtakes along the straight, as there is a yellow flag in sector 2. Not quite sure why. Aldag in 9th now. Delirious and JD both pitted in 10th and 11th respectively. Nico in 12th. On the hards, going to the end. It was quite an obvious choice, as there's another yellow flag in sector 2. Ghost the wrong way round without a front wing. And Ghost is retired from the session. He's given up. It continues. The streak continues. of not finishing in the points. It will go to 7 races. Jack has also left the session, not quite sure why. He is ghosted. We have a very unhappy harsh driver over on the team radio saying, bruh, I CBA. Not quite sure what happened. I'm sure I'll hear about it after the race, or even during the race. Still got Danny in first. Scott, Grimes. Ooh, a little bit of a corner cut there from Grimes. Bidoof in fourth, Noel King fifth. Cam went in and pitted in sixth. So did Drake's now in seventh. So Alpine 1-2 with a ghosted AlphaTauri. I was a little bit confused there. Thought there might have been a little bit of bumper cars, which I would not have enjoyed to see. King Jarl, 3-second time penalty. That's the first corner cutting penalty we've had this race. I'm actually amazed it lasted 9 laps. Look at that. Danny's got DRS and he's now a second out of DRS. You know, he's now over the second gap. Danny fastest lap now, setting a 1:41.2, but he has no ERS to play. Oh no, that's Scott. Sorry, I do apologise. Scott has no ERS to play with. Everybody running on fumes at the moment, it would appear. Danny in first, Scott in second. Yellow flag in sector 1. Not quite sure why. No, someone went ahead there. Noel King in sixth. Fifth, sorry. Got DRS on Bidoof. No, I think Bidoof's pitted. I would be surprised if anybody hasn't pitted by now. Let's have a little look on the race director really quickly. Okay, no, so Bidoof and Noel King are both yet to pit, as is Eldag. Got a couple of hard strategies here from Nico and Cam. Gonna go to the end. We already have 3 pits from Ben. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a Giles part 2, boys. Lap 10, 3 pit stops. Crazy. AlphaTauri are not going to be happy with their tyre management. Still Danny and Scott in first and second, respectively. Grimes in third. As that is the most obvious corner cut I've ever seen. Any more of that and there will be a penalty applied. Bidoof still in fourth, yet to pit. Surely he's going to come and pit. Oh no, because to be fair, he is on the mediums. Drake's in fifth, just not that far behind him. Scott with the DRS on Danny. He's getting closer and gaining. See, like I was saying before, what's Danny thinking now? You know, he knows Grimes is ultimately the closest pace to him, you know, because of qualifying. And obviously in the race they were very close until Grimes had to pit. Does he stay out? No, that Grimes does have to pit as well, again. Or does he go in as well with Grimes, put on another set of softs and go to the end? But I suppose ultimately it depends on what Scott and Drake's are doing. Because, you know, Grimes does have to pit again for 2 reasons. First of all, he's not had two types of two different compounds, as you can see here. Let's go all the way up now. As you can see, he's been on the softs twice. So he will have to pit again, otherwise he will get disqualified. And then also for the second reason that the softs won't make it to the end, unfortunately. Nico found himself back up into 10th. Does have a 5-second penalty though, so that's very unfortunate for him. Other than that, it's been kind of tame. Only 2 penalties so far this race. I'm amazed. To be honest, I lost my words. I'm amazed there's been only 2 penalties so far. Normally it's 2 people who don't have penalties. You should have seen it when we were doing strict rules around, I think it was Imola. There was only two or three people who finished without being penalised. Scott yet again in the DRS of Danny. trying to get up the rear end of him. Scott would love to win his first race, and there we go. Grimes coming in for his pit stop. Grimes going to come in, chuck on a set of mediums. Yeah, there we go. Now it's down to Scott. I keep saying Scott. Grimes is coming in for his pit stop. What's he going to be able to do? Yeah, he's going to be about 30 seconds behind the two Alpines. 14 laps. What's he got in his locker? What does he have in his locker? Sector 1, yellow flag, not quite sure why. Still yellow. Oh dear! Ben, having to use the escape road, facing the entire wrong way. Oh, it's bumper cars for him now. Probably going to go into the pits for a 97th time this race. Danny's still in first, Scott right behind him. Grimes only 20 seconds down the road. It must be a fast pit stop, Azerbaijan. Can't really remember, to be honest. Bidu from fourth, I think, with the DRS. Grimes will probably overtake him there. Still the 1-2 for the Alpine. Drake's in third, having his own fun. Here we go now. Grimes right behind Bidu. Opens up the DRS. I'm sure the ERS is also going as well. Look at him gaining. And comes alongside him. Ultimately overtaking him now. I doubt Bidoof will be able to re-answer. You know, Grimes is on fresh tyres. Look at that already. Look at that gap now. Nearly out of DRS. You know, within 2 corners. You know, he is now after 2 corners, and there's a poor exit from Bidoof there as well from behind. So yeah, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Not quite sure why. Ben P has finally retired after 96 pit stops. In 3 laps. How many times did he pit in the end? It was only the 3. It was only the 3 pit stops. Okay. Well, he hasn't beaten the record of Giles with 4 in 10 laps. The front runners here, I think they're just charging that ERS. Oh, there's Ben there. Oh, and he actually put it in the wall. He folded his car. That's nice. That's pleasant. 1-2 for the Alpine boys, 3-4 for the McLaren boys. If it stays this same way, the Alpine boys are going to love the points haul they'll be getting today. They're going to love it. They're going to absolutely enjoy it. Excuse me. I think so that will be, I'm not sure, I think Grimes currently has the fastest lap of the race. It'd be nice if, you know, they actually did it on the like how they do it in F1 in real life, where they actually show like the purple marker next to the person. That would be nice. So Scott coming in for a pit stop. Perhaps going to go on some softs to the end. Not quite sure what he's got planned. No, he fancies. Oh, it's a front wing change. How unfortunate for him. Oh, he's not going to be happy with that. Grimes sets the fastest lap. Oh, Scott's not going to enjoy that one. That's a shame. Scott now also going to come out into a bit of traffic. That is really not what he wants. That's a shame for him though. Danny still in first. 16 seconds from Drake's and then 4 from Grimes. Is he taking these tyres to the end? Is he coming out? You know, if he comes in and puts on a set of softs, I could see him winning the race. I really could. If he stays out, he's just got to hope that the 2 boys behind him. If any of you did just hear that, I am live on Twitch, and a fellow good friend of mine did just gift a subscription, so thank you very much to you. I do apologise, as obviously I record this on Twitch whilst live streaming, so sometimes you do still hear little bits and bobs come through. That was my sub alert. But yeah, thank you very much for the subscription there. Do appreciate it, my brother. Anyway, back to the action now. Lap 14. Danny still leading. 16 seconds the gap from Drake's as King Joel picking up another penalty. I think that's 6 seconds. Takes his total to 6 seconds now. Grimes still in third. You know, I'm really confused. I'm really, well, not confused. I wish I could find out what people were thinking, what they were doing. You know, are they staying out? Are they coming in? What are they doing? Are they going to go to the end? As Drake's comes into the pits as well now. Oh, a front wing change for Drake's as well. How unfortunate. That's very unfortunate for Drake's there. I think just the walls, the city walls are really taking their toll on people. Well, Danny now really has a lot to think about. He's in first. He's got 11 laps left. He's got an 18.7 second gap. This is really shaking up the order. Nico back up in 7th. Does have a 5-second penalty though. Alfie in 16th. Come on, bro. You can do it. Let's get you some points. Come on, man. You can do it. King Joel coming into the pits. I think ultimately, Danny, you know, what I would do is, you know, I'd monitor the gap over the next couple of laps. You know, it's now 19 seconds flat. You know, what do you do? Do you stay out? You know, and hope over the course of the next 10 laps, it's, you know, they're not gaining 1.8 seconds a lap. Would you come in, be relatively, you know, quite close to Grimes, and then, you know, stick on a set of softs and go flying all the way to the end? Perhaps try and get the overtake, you know, or do you just stay where you are now? Bidoof in 4th, being overtaken by Scott now. Lovely little overtake there from Scott. However, Bidoof is going to have DRS coming back down into turn 1. Is Bidoof yet to pit? I'm really not so. I don't think Bidoof's pitted. He still hasn't pitted. Drive to survive on these tyres, I think, boys. I was a bit close to Scott there. Oh, there's now a 3 wide into turn 1. Lovely bit of action there. Both of the Ferraris getting involved in this now. Look at this going into turn 2. 3 cannot go into 1, so someone will have to yield. Oh, there's a little bit of fishtailing there from Bidoof. All to play for 3rd. JD going to go up the inside of Bidoof. Now into 3rd. Scott having to back out there. Scott's the biggest loser of all this now. Scott being squeezed by Delirious. And JD gets put in the wall by Bidoof, unfortunately. Does he have any wing damage? I think he got away. I couldn't quite see it because they were both shagging each other on the inside there. Yeah, he has got away just about. Delirious now up into 3rd with Scott right behind him though. Meanwhile, the gap up front is 17.8 seconds, so there has been a 1 second change. What does Danny do? What does Danny do? Does he stay out, manage his tyres, as always, and know that Grimes, obviously, ultimately his tyres are also going to start to wear as well, so the gap won't be as good? Or does he come in and play it safe? You know, what do you do in this situation? I think, personally, I'd stay out. That's just me though. Yeah, that's nice to see. You know, the Ferraris nice and high up there. So it's always good to see some more people getting involved. Ace Drake's up into 6th. Started 5th. You know, a little bit lower than where he would have liked. He normally likes to be on the 1st or 2nd row of the grid. JD trying to break the slipstream just a little bit there, as Drake's is now on the charge, right behind JD. We've got Bidoof finally coming in for his pit stop. It was about time. He went 17 laps on the mediums, tried to go the long way, now on the softs. What can he do? He's going to come out near the top 10, or in the top 10 rather. I think he's just going to be alongside Cam there, just behind Cam there. But he's going to be on some very fast slicks. Currently a 1-3 for Alpine with a McLaren sandwich. Sorry, it's an Alpine sandwich with a McLaren fill-in. The gap now 15.7. 9 laps to go. What's Danny thinking? What's Grimes thinking? Let's have a look at the lap differences. So we've got a 43.1 from Danny. This is a yellow flag in sector 2. So 43.1 for Danny. And then it's 41.6 for Grimes. So it's 1.5 second gap difference there. A lap by the looks of things. But like I said, both of their tyres will be wearing, so they will be getting slower and slower, and they'll also subsequently have to be more cautious. With less grip around the tyre, on the tyres, that car is more than likely to end up spinning and going flying. Grimes still in second, 15.3 the gap. Scott, it's going to be Danny or Grimes by the looks of things. Unless something else happens, it is going to be one of those two. We've got Delirious in the pits, not quite sure why. We've had a front wing. Oh, that's very unfortunate from Delirious. I really don't know what happened there, but that's very unfortunate for him. JD still carrying the flag for the Prancing Horses in 5th. Nico in 6th. Oh, bumping the wall a little bit there. Still using the hards, taking them to the end, I can only imagine. Anyway, I'd be a bit surprised if he doesn't take them to the end. Drake's still in 4th. Overall, even after all of the argy-bargy in the pit stops, Grimes having to change his wing, Drake's having to change his wing, Scott having to change, everybody having to change their bloody wing. This still shows the same pattern. You've got the McLarens, you've got the Mercedes and the Alpines, a Ferrari and a McLaren up there in the mix, and then kind of the usuals as well. It really is showing who's where. So let's get on board with Eldar for a bit. Let's give him a bit of screen time. Currently in 11th, first race in the LBL for Eldar. In 11th, trying to, be nice for him to get some debut points. Well, it looks like he's chasing a point. Just behind K Seiji there. Seiji, a very good racer. Normally in our open lobbies at times. Oh no, we got on board. Oh, we've just seen Eldar lose a bit. He's lost it a bit, and he's lost part of his front wing. He does have damage. Oh, he's lost the entirety of the front wing for good measure. Oh, very unfortunate there from Eldar. Very unfortunate. I think the pressure of me watching him must have got to him. We'll go off of him for a bit now. The gap 14.3 now between Danny and Grimes. Alfie in 16th. I'm gutted. It's not the performance Alfie would have wanted, but we don't want to give screen time to Haas because they do have sponsors from a country in the world which we are not necessarily best friends with at the moment. I'll say that to say the least. Everybody running out of ERS, bloody hell. Couple pit stops. JD back in the pits again, not quite sure why. Really confused as to why he was back in the pits again. Nico up into 5th. That 5-second penalty looks like it's going to be negated. If he stays where he is, I think he'll still remain in 5th. As Noel King's now 10 seconds down the road. Although speaking of, Noel King gaining 13 positions since the start of this race. What an amazing drive from him there. Maybe due to some of his misfortunes, but that's an argument for another day. Still, the lead is in Danny's hands. That gap now under 14 seconds. But yeah, Danny's going to the end. 6 laps to go. No, Grimes will want a miracle here. So the order is the Alpine of Danny, followed by the Mercedes of Grimes with their teammates Scott and Drake's in 3rd and 4th. Nico back up into 5th after being last after the first lap of the Grand Prix. He's managed to do a sterling effort, come back up to 5th. Noel King in 6th, pushing that Williams closer to the front pack all the time. As Nico's coming into the pits, probably going to serve that 5-second penalty, get some fast softs on, maybe even go for the fastest lap of the race. Excuse me. Anyway, Bidoof 7th, Cam in 8th, Seiji in 9th, Delirious in 10th, and JD in 11th. Very unfortunate for the pair of them. Jason 12th, Jack 13th, King Joel in 14th, Eldar 15th. Very unfortunate from him. He was in 11th. I keep saying unfortunate. I need to stop saying it. He was in 15th, he was in 11th, chasing down that point from Seiji. Just lost it on the bending of sector 3. I can't even talk anymore. Don't know why I did that. Jesus Christ. And then Alfie rounding up the grid. The gap now under 13 seconds. She's getting close, boys. I doubt it, but we may have a race on our hands. Grimes now in the 42s. I think Danny's still in mid 43, so the gap is coming down. I wonder what percent those tyres are on. I really would love to see what percent those tyres are on. Look at the spectators there. The Baku city. Loving them lot. They're loving themselves. Look at them. Look how enthralled they are by this action. Amazed. Oh, the marshal's doing such a superb job as well as always. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, that's it really, isn't it? Gap now 12.6. We shall see. We shall see. We're going to stay on board with Grimes. Stay on board with Grimes for a little bit. I love watching people go through castle section when they do it perfect. It's amazing. Seiji with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Oh, that's very unfortunate from him. Very unfortunate indeed. Danny's still in first. The gap 12 seconds now, under 12 seconds. I think with 5 laps, I don't think Grimes is going to be able to catch Danny. It's going to be close. I reckon it might end up being like 5-6 seconds, but I don't think it's going to be too worrying. It would have got to the point where, you know, if it was a longer race, they both would have been pitting again anyway, so it would have kind of negated the advantage that Grimes did have. But still, you know, oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. For what reason? We have a Nolking going very slow on the hards. Not quite sure what happened there. Man who I was giving so much praise for being up 13 positions. He's binned it. Nico in 8th. In a bit of traffic. I think he'll want to get past these boys here. Might make a diving lunge down. Down the inside. Very lovely. Going to come at the back end of Nolking, I imagine. Oh no, Nolking I think might just let him pass. As Nico, I do think the only reason he's gone in and pitted is to try and get the fastest lap of the race. I would have thought so. You know, we would have preferred DRS there to give him a chance. Bidoof in 5th, up 12 positions. Amazing work from Bidoof. Drake's in 4th, 4.2 behind Scott. The gap now under 12 between Grimes and Danny. Danny's got 4 more laps. I think the unfortunate pit stop. I think maybe if Grimes hadn't had to have put a new front wing on, I think it would have been a lot closer. And it may have even come down to the last lap of the race. Although it's been a very tame race though. You know, for a change, I don't want to say anything, but I feel like it's going to end without any steward submissions tonight. And if that is the case, hallelujah. I would love that. As Grimes has no ERS now. Same with Danny really, they're working with fumes. Oh, Nico right behind Bidoof now. See these tyres, they're just working wonders really. I think Nico learned from last week to just wait until the DRS straights. Yellow flag in sector 2. We've got a ghosted Jack. Not quite sure why. Nolking down in 14th. What happened? Oh, he put on some soft tyres. Alfie in 16th. Oh, minding himself, minding his own business. Hasn't been his day today. Our darling, our sweetheart. Very unfortunate from him. As like I said before, Nico does manage to get past Bidoof. I think he's going to try and go for the fastest lap of the race. Clips the wall a little bit there. Yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, Bolfo's retired. No. What a shame. Oh, second DNF of this season. What a shame. Yet again, no points for Haas. Big shame indeed. Very unfortunate there. As we're coming into the final 3 laps of the race now, as Danny's going to cross the line. We have a bit of team radio from the Haas. Alfie saying he gave up. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Gap under 11 seconds. Drakes and Scott getting closer. I think the gap's slightly coming down between Drakes and Scott. This is a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. The safety car will be making a return next week, which will be nice. See it back. It's been a bit of a change from the norm recently. Obviously, you know, having Monaco. I keep saying, I'm going to say McLaren. With Monaco and Baku, a bit of a change of things. You know, we didn't trust us. King Joel's just DNF. What a shame. No, how unfortunate for King Joel. Ooh, a little bit of a corner cut there from Grimes. Lovely. Delirious in the pit again once more. I'm not quite sure why. Still a yellow flag in sector 2. I think it might be King Joel here before his car gets cleared. His car has now been cleared. Gap under 10 seconds, or back over 10 seconds. Floating around the 10 seconds. Two more laps, well, two and a tad laps to go now. It's 14 finishers, well, 14 races at the moment. Danny in first, yellow flag, sector 1. Why is there a yellow flag in sector 1? What's happened? Ooh, what's going on with Danny? What is going on with Danny? Oh, a little bit of wall contacts there from Grimes. No front wing damage there. Oh, and a bit more for good measure. I wonder if any of his front wings been knocked. Yellow flag in sector 2. Not quite sure why. No, I think. Oh, there's another corner cut there from Grimes. Oh, that's such a lovely view there. Ace Drake's 2 seconds behind Scott. I'm not so sure there's going to be a chance for Drakes to make the overtake and get into third. Danny coming down the final straights on the penultimate lap of the race. As he now is coming across the line to start his final lap of this race. He took the tyres to the end. We were wondering whether he was going to come in and pit while he still had the gap, or if he was just going to stay out there and let it hang. And he's taken them to the end as there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, and JD's facing the wrong way. How unfortunate for him. On JD, get some points, dude. Come on. So, on the final lap, the order is Danny, Grimes, Scott, Drakes, Nico, Bidoof, JD, Cam, Jason, Seiji, Delirious, Nolking, and L-Dog. So, it's going to be some good points for Bidoof today. A couple more points for Jason. Point there for Seiji as well, if obviously it all maintains the same as what is. There is a penalty there. Oh, as Noel King has DNF'd. And he has not ghosted either. Danny nearly just DNF'd. Jesus, that could have been very bad. But anyway, I think since the start of the race, it was pretty consistent from Danny. He pitted early. I think it was lap 8 he pitted. Took these mediums to the end. It's a great race all round. It's another... Well, unless anything happens down this straight, which I don't think it will, it's going to be another race win for Danny. He's going to come across the line and take the checkered flag of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He took the mediums to the end. There was a late charge from Grimes, but Grimes going to come across in second. Unfortunately, was unable to catch Danny. Still a valiant effort there. He halved the gap from what it originally was. Scott, Danny's teammate, going to pick up a few vital points in the constructors over Drake's. The gap in the end was just about a second. Scott in third, Drake's fourth. Nico had a great qualifying, started on third early on. Oh, nearly lost it. Oh, Jesus, what are you doing, Nico? It's like bumper cars, mate. Yeah, at the end of the first lap, went all the way down into 19th, front wing change, then got picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ultimately, a great recovery drive from the McLaren man. I think if all stays the same, he will finish 5th here. Very nice and tidy indeed from Nico. Great recovery drive, damage limitation to the max there. Going to try and lose it. Oh, great skid in there. Bidov just behind him, finishing 6th. Great points for Red Bull. Cam as well. Oh, very close. 84 hundredths on the line there in 7th for Cam. JD in 8th. Jason 9th. Seiji picking up the last point. Or is he going to... No, Delirious is going to pick up the last point because of the penalty Seiji had. So, Seiji's going to finish 11th, and then Aldag finished in 12th. Decent start. First race for Aldag to finish 12th. Not too bad. Not too bad for him. But yeah, that is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Danny once again taking the top step of the podium. Grimes in 2nd. Scott picking up another podium in 3rd. Drake's in 4th. Like I was saying before, if it wasn't for these front wing changes, I think it would have been a lot more closer than what it looked like today. But there's the podium celebration. Double Alpine podium. Not the first time we've seen this. Certainly won't be the last as far as I'm concerned. Well played to every single person who was here. Also, if any of you on YouTube watching this do want to come and watch it all live, twitch.tv/Lawton Lad. We host the qualifying as well, the post-race. We talk about it as well. You know, we have a little bit of a laugh before it all starts. We also do some open lobbies after the race as well. But yeah, here's the order of all the finishers. Danny in 1st, picking up another 25 points. Grimes in 2nd there with the fastest lap, so that will be good for him. Scott in 3rd, final step of the podium. Drake's 4th, Nico 5th. Great damage limitation drive. Bidov and Cam 6th and 7th respectively. Good race for them. Double points finish for Ferrari, although they're a little bit lower than what they would have expected, in 8th and 10th. And then Jason in 9th. Seiji unfortunately not getting any points there at the end due to that penalty. And then Aldag finishing in 12th. He was the last of our runners. We had 8 non-finishers. Bames made about 5 corners. Very unfortunate for him. But overall, a decent race. A very clean race, I'd like to say as well. But with that all being said, next week we go to Canada, I believe, for more Lawton Lad Biblical League racing. And until then, thank you all very much for watching, and peace!